Hello, my friends, and welcome back to Learning Torah Lishma. One of the very important things that I think about, we talk about, is the importance of people that are seichelic, people have a proper mindset, balanced people, that we should have yeshivas, boys' schools and girls' schools opened up with people that are seichelic. Now, the big issue is that most of the places that a person will send their kids to school, whether it's a boy or girls' school, are places that the people have this. They're not seichelic. We've talked about it. We're not going to get all into that. And so, I'm speaking to a whole bunch of people, that are rich, not famous, but rich. And, you speak to the husband, and the husband's like, yeah, don't worry, the school, just send it to the school. And I mentioned to them, what about you opening up your own school? Your community has a whole bunch of rich people, you're one of them. In general, these people are working people, and I say, why don't you open up your own school? You're sending them to this school, why don't you open up your own? And, I think it would be better for your kids. So, they give whatever their answers are. Then you speak to the wife, and you speak to the wife, she's like, you just talk about the school, and she already opens up of, how much they're always complaining about this and that, and they could be threatening, they're going to send the kid away, this, that, making them crazy. You see this dichotomy, it's very important that a husband and wife are in sync, that they know what's happening in each other's life. You don't have to know everything, but something like this for sure should be known, you understand? And for some reason, it's not known. And a wife has to know, if this is happening from the school, that she should tell it to her husband. It's important, it's hard enough when you're not married and people think that they could pick on you and use you to control you so they could pick up their ego, and you have to fight against that. It's hard enough when you're single that you have to do it. Now when you're married, when you do have someone that could stick up for you, whether it's a scenario that the man can stick up for you, or the woman, right, your husband or the wife, whichever one, now you're also not going to do it. You're going to let these nerds, these control freaks, these people that think they know everything but they're as stupid as hell, you're going to let them control you? It's mind-boggling. People have to know that you need, this is so important. You're in a community, and you're sending them all to these schools. I said, you're going to send them, they're going to come out brainwashed, like what we talk about. Right? That's what's going to happen. And they just try to imagine and believe that that's not going to happen, when we all know that that's what's going to happen. Their power comes because they control the youth, they control the kids. You send them to the school. How do you make them think normal if they're going to a school which is indoctrinating them with crazy ideas? How do you make them think normal? You're going to fight against the school? That's pathetic. That's how are you going to do that? They're going to be in the school for, some people never leave. Boys, because a boy, until he's married, he has to be learning. Otherwise, no girl wants him. Who wants someone that's working? You understand? He has to be learning full time at BMG or Mir or Brisk. So I see there's people in their 40s, in the 70s, in the 30s, still in the late 20s, it's still there. You think that you're gonna overpower that brainwash? Come on. We can't be so stupid. We can't be tricked so easily. You understand? We have to realize that no, They're going to be brainwashed no matter what you do. You may be able to push it off for a little bit, but at the end of the day, they're going to be brainwashed. There's only one answer. You gotta open up your own schools. Rich people gotta open up your own schools. Open up a 501c3. Instead of giving it tzedakah to all these random places that we hope that it actually goes to something that's good. Use the tzedakah money, every cent of it. The first thing towards this 501c3, which is going to be a school for your kids. You're going to have a boys' school, a girls' school, and you're going to start to build it, and you're going to have to, it's going to be hard, but you're going to have to find, high spiritual people that are balanced, normal, good people, don't have these radical ideas. They understand, not just that they don't have them, they understand them to be false, and they understand what the true idea is. Now, there's some people that they're radical just because they don't know the truth. But if you would explain it to them, they would change. Just who would ever tell them such a thing? So you have to realize that also. Sometimes you can have someone that has great potential. You need to make like a quick, video explaining your views and why and this and that. Have them watch it, have them think over it. You understand? And they could decide if they want to be part of this, if they think this is correct. You understand? We don't have to sit and focus on if this is correct, if this is a method of the time, this is correct, then that means that this can be done. Do you want to do it? This is the way we want to open up the school. We don't have to sit and focus on what they doing. Is that right? Is that... It doesn't make a difference at this point. Once we know that we have a correct system, it's true that they're false, but we don't even have to go there. You understand? We don't even have to go there, because once we have a correct system, we have the absolute right to use that system. You understand? So that's the focus. Now you also throw in a bit how that other system is very detrimental and really hurts people. Yes, but that's not the focus of it. The focus is showing why this system works. You understand? System of creating balanced people, right? When Mashiach comes, we want him to come to, we need to have somewhere in Klal Yisrael a normal, healthy community. You understand? Right now, it's all in disarray. You have these crazy, people, extremists, and then you have people that are extremely laid back, which is very terrible. And the people that are working, they're fought against so hard. It's very hard for them. It's very hard for them. They're trying to go to Minyan every day. They're trying to learn. They're trying to do all this. But there's such negativity against them. The girls have to know, you got to give them a break. You have to be understanding. The women have to learn how to feel again, how to have emotions. It's like you marry a girl and you think you're marrying a man. You understand? It's like, what's going on? She's tough as nails. Women have to learn how to be gentle, how to be edel, how to be kind, how to be empathetic, how to speak soft. The woman's supposed to want, to speak her piece, what she, is thinking, but at the end of the day, she wants the logic of the man to decide. That's how it's supposed to be, and the man is supposed to be, wanting to hear from his wife, taking her very seriously. He knows he has the job of making the end decision, but he takes seriously what his wife says. Maybe it needs to be tweaked here, maybe it needs to be tweaked there. You understand? It could be at the end of your conclusion, something completely different needs to be done, what you and her thought, but the fact that you spoke each other's reasons out, you realized a third possibility that's what needs to be done. You understand? So important. Each person realize their role. Right? You have these men that they wanna stay home, watch the kids, and let the wife work. No. That's the woman's job. Your job, one of the balance in your life is you you need to be the one that needs to bring in the money. Now today, it's true practically, a wife also usually has to work, but she shouldn't have to work tons, like the way a man's working. She works a little bit, she's a teacher, she does this a few hours, she does that, doesn't have to be there every day she works, you understand? There's so many different types of jobs, but it's true that also, but she's the one that's supposed to spend as much time as she can with the kids. That's her, not you. So it's true. You're also supposed to spend time with the kids, and you need to, absolutely. But that you should be spending the majority, you should be all focused on spending time with the kids and send her out to work. That's incorrect. So, getting back, it is crucial that you open up a 501c3 and you get the rich people, you say you put towards this school. Our goal is to lower the tuition, and this is not here to make money. We're rich, we make money in other ways. Today the school became how people become rich. No. We are not planning to make a cent from the 501c3. We work, we do other things. This is to focus on to eventually take away the complete cost. And people could donate, of course. You have donations, absolutely, and you make a dinner maybe every 6 months or so, and you raise money, absolutely. But the focus of this is not for me to make money. Of course, I have to pay the teachers and other things, but it's not for me to make money. And doesn't mean that you have to pay the teachers garbage wages. No, pay them good. And you create, and the goal is that there should be enough money that let's say you put into S&P 500 or an SCHD or QQQM, whatever, you can probably put it in all three, split up between the three. The dividends that you get, between 7 to 10, 7 to 12, something like that, 8 to 12 per year, that should pay off for the school, and then you open up a new building, and then you raise money to open a building, and then you raise money again to come that the dividends pays for the kids' tuition. And it could be in the beginning it's paying for half of it, and then eventually it goes up until it's completely paid for. You understand? And this is the goal. And this school is for people that are like-minded, that want balanced kids, not extremists, not extreme, frum, which is not really frum, but that's what they consider to be frum, that extremeness, and not, the other way, which is also not good. You have to keep the Torah. You have to live a Jewish life. It's unacceptable. You got to do it. So this is extremely important. The first fix is the kids, and the second fix, which it could be before or it could be just the second thing, which the second is also it happens at it happens around the same time. The second is almost as important as the first. Is you need to get a good Rav. You understand? You need to get a good Rav, or at least a Rav that's not fighting against you opening up this type of yeshiva. You understand? This type of Jewish school. That's and but it's very important to find someone who's really in sync, understands the truth of what we're talking about. Again, we wish the best for everybody. It's Mashiach's almost here. It's not too long. It's either it's either coming very soon or in the next few hundred years. We have, I think, like around 250 years left. We need, people. We need to create healthy communities. Mashiach can't come to crazy people that without realizing send stroves of Yidden off the derech and prevent stroves from coming on because of their extreme shittas. We have a shir that we talked about this. So this is extremely important. Mashiach needs to come to people that are holy, that care about other Yidden, that don't cause harm directly or more importantly, like we're talking about, indirectly. The harm that is caused by the leaders indirectly is supernatural. Let's just put it that way. It's unbelievable. It is so big. It is so big. It's so big that when they, some leaders are not, completely stupid when they realize what their actions are causing. It's so big that they just can't believe that they're doing it and they just ignore it. That's how big it is. You understand? It is so big. We have to, right? Sheiris Yisrael, right? The remnants of Klal Yisrael, Asu Avla, they don't speak falsehood, they don't cause destruction in Klal Yisrael. Today, almost every leader, at the same time that he does good, whatever that amount is, usually the destruction that he causes is like 10, 50, 100-fold. Because of wrong ideologies, extremism. Just because an idea exists doesn't mean that you could apply that to the Hamayna. You understand? It could be that idea only exists for 1%. Saying this Rabbi Akiva of learning full-time, no work, and that whole idea of Rajbi, you understand? That's maybe a 1% less. And that's not of all Klal Yisrael. That's just talking about the people that are actually from today. You understand? I think we would have had at least half, if not more, from today if we would have focused on the kids and not just take all the focus on Tekolah. It's a terrible thing. You could speak till you're blue in the face, till you're crying like a baby. No one cares. People just go on in their life. They just don't care. It's so sad. Shem Yirachem. Shem should open people's hearts, open people's minds, give them the light to just be able to see the truth. Then a person has, with their own bechira, their own free will, if they're going to choose to stay with the light or go with the darkness. We want the best for everybody. I love you and Hashem loves you.